So this is what we were discussing. While creating object of string request, as I said, we are supposed to pass four parameters. First parameter is the method. So in our case, we are going to use a post method. Second parameter is the link of your Google script URL that you need to pass here. As of now, we don't have that URL. So that's why I kept pending. Third is you need to implement the listener to get the response. And if you don't know what kind of listener you are going to use, then as I said, simply you can write new and control space. You can see as a first suggestion you will get response.listener and it comes under volley. So this is what we are going to implement. So just click on that. Fine. So it has implemented one listener and you can see response is also there and the method is there. So this is third parameter, comma, I need to go with fourth parameter. This bracket is of this string request only. You can see the opening bracket is here, then first parameter which is post, second parameter which is URL, comma, from this to this, and this is the third parameter where I am creating the response listener, comma. Now I will have to create the error listener also. So if I don't know what kind of listener is there, so again I can write new control space. You can see response dot error listener is there. Just click on that. So it has implemented error listener also. Fine. And here your bracket is over. So these are the four parameters. One is method, one is URL, third one is response listener, fourth one is error listener. And here we are going to do something. We will write a certain codes here. Is it fine so far? Let me revise it again. It's a little bit complex, so let's revise again. So first step is we need to create the object of string request. So let me create the object of string request. Fine. So this is how we can create the string request object equal to new string request, and I can pass four parameters. First one is method. So I can access it, request dot method dot post. Second parameter is URL. I don't know, so let's go with blank. Third one is new control space, and you can implement this. Then here you can write comma, again new, or here also you can implement it, comma, new control space and response dot error listener. And let me finish it. So you can see both the listeners are there and two parameters are also there. Any doubts in this? So what this will do, from this string request, it will call the post method. Whatever URL we will pass here, from that URL it will try to send the request to HTTP protocol, and from protocol, based on the request, this class will get the response, and if it gets the response, then it will call this method on response. And if the method or the class is not getting any response, it will call this interface. So now we will have to write our logic inside the on response and on error response listener. Whatever we want to do, we can write the logic. Like as soon as I get the response, if I want to go with the toast message, then I can display the toast message here. Is it fine? Now the question is how to integrate our edit text with the URL. As of now in web, in Google script, we will write the code. So from our application, we need to do something through which it can access the web script. So for that, if you have any idea about HasMap in DSM, HasMap is coming, or map is also there. So there is one concept which is map, one of the inbuilt class which is defined in Java. And this is what I'm talking about, map class. HasMap is also there. Collection is also there, which is there in advanced Java. So whenever you want to pass your data in form of key value pair, and you want to send your data in the protocol, then out of this class you can access any class. Each class is having certain limitations. So as of now I don't want to discuss this, because collection, you don't have any idea about collection and even has map, so you will not get anything. But this is what you can say whenever you want to send your data in key value pair, then you can use one of the class. So in all the classes there are inbuilt methods which can get the parameters whatever you pass. So let me go with map class as of now. So how I can implement this? So that I need to do inside this only. So here only let me do something. Let me go with the static block, and here what I will do, it is not needed, but still let me go with that. Let me create the map class. uh, Let me see if it is there. Yeah, you can see it is there in util package, which gives key and value. So let me go with this map. Here I can give the data types. For key also I want to go with string data type. For value also, as of now I'm having names only, so values are also having string data type. And I can define any object. It's user defined object, let's say parameters or param or whatever. Let's say param equal to, you can create the object of has map, and then you can store it in the map like this. And then I will have to add the values in the parameters using put method. If you remember, while integrating with SQLite database, we were using content values, and we were accessing the put method of object of content values. So similarly here what I can do, param dot put, why I'm not getting, uh, param dot put method should be there, but I'm not getting. Just a minute. Map. Oh yeah, I just forgot to implement get params method. So here first I'll have to go with the get params method, which is user defined method. And now inside this I can again go with map. I can give key value data type. So let's say string comma string, and here I can create the object of new as map like this. And now using these forums I should be able to access put method. Yes, it is there. Put method is there. So again I'm repeating what we are doing. As of now I'm getting an error because we don't return this. Otherwise at the end the return type is there. Map, I'll have to return something. So if you get time, you can search for HasMap and map. You will get a very interesting article. HasMap is very interesting concept, though it is advanced level concept. If you get time, you can search it out, or else you can simply use this code, because as of now you will not get any idea. Because whenever you want to send your data in form of request to the protocols, then always to interact with protocols, either I can go with HasMap or I can go with map class, and it's a collection of values, or I can say a set of key value mapping. Fine. HasMap is also there, so try to find the difference of HasMap and map. You will get the ideas, because otherwise I will speak, then you will not get anything. You will have to read something. This is the bigger topic, HasMap and map. It is there in advanced Java. Similarly, collection is also there. As of now, we are not going to use collection, but still, collection is also very important concept. So if you have time, you can go through it. So now let me add the values. I want to add two values, but before two values, in the scripting we need to define the action also, like what action I want to perform. So in Google script, I'm going to define one method that I need to pass here. Let's say name of the action for key is action, and value is, so whatever value I write here, same value I need to write in the Google script. So I need to be more careful. So let's say I'm going with add value. Fine. So in Google script also I will ask you that for action what was the value. So whatever value is there, accordingly we will have to write a function there using same name, add value. Similarly, I want to put one more parameter for first name. Let's say params dot put for first name. Let's say key is first underscore name. Whatever key you write here, same key you need to use everywhere. So make sure that you write the correct key. And what value I want to pass, value is there in the first name, this one. So let me copy this and paste it. Fine. First name, why I'm getting an error? Okay, I'm getting it from the inner class, so I need to declare it final. It's fine, let me declare both the things final. I don't have any problem. Yeah. So now I have inserted first name, so you can see here from this edit text I will get the value. It will store in this string variable, and that value I'm passing, and for that value this is the key, first name. So I will always ask about key. I will say that for first name what was the key, then this is the key, first underscore name, where first F and N is capital. Similarly for last name I will write params dot put the key is, let's say, last underscore name, and value is let's say, sorry, value is, let's say, last name. And as soon as we put all the values, we can return the parameters, so that it will pass all the things in the Google script, return params. And just a minute, still I'm getting an error. Why? I don't know. Change access specifier. Okay, it was default. Let me make it public. Yeah, fine. So if you don't have any idea about this as of now, then simply you need to remember that this code is needed, and here based on your columns you need to put n number of values. Otherwise this thing is going to be common everywhere, these two line, and at the end you need to return it. And these are going to be varying. If in your application, if you are going to add 10 columns, then all 10 columns must be there. Params.put, you need to define 10 keys and 10 values. Is it fine? Are you getting this? I know this code is little bit complex, as I said earlier also, because you don't know what is asmap, what is map. So I'm damn sure that it is little bit confusing, but you just need to remember this. Then later on refer asmap and map and tell me if you're not getting. It's very easy, but you need to go through the entire article. Is it fine so far? Yeah. And after this you need to go for the retry policy also for volley. So that code I'm going to write. So for that you need to define time interval also, like if you have bad internet connectivity, or if you are not getting response, then how much time you want your progress to be there. Fine. So that time also you need to define here. So let's say I'm defining the time integer, let's say time equal to, so I'll need to give time in millisecond. So let's say I want 50 seconds, for example, or 40 seconds. Then I can write 40,000 millisecond. This is in millisecond. And so I'll have to define the time. આનો મતલબ શું થશે કે જ્યારે તમને રિસ્પોન્સ નહીં મળે તો 40 સેકન્ડ સુધી તમારું પ્રોગ્રેસ ડાયલોગ રહેશે. Then your progress dialog will disappear and you will not get the response. Till 40 seconds it will uh, try to fire the request. So as soon as you will get the internet connectivity, a server will give the response, and if the response is there before 40 seconds, then you will get the response. It will call this method, and you can get your task. Fine. So now how to ask our application to try again and again if you are having bad internet connectivity. So for that you need to create the object of retry policy, because within the first try, if you are not able to get the response, then you need to retry it by calling the retry policy method. So for that, what you can do, you can create the object of retry policy. It is there under volley. Let me show it again. You can see it comes under com.endroid.volley. And if you don't add the dependency for volley, you cannot access this class, which is retry policy. So let me create the object retry policy equal to new. Now the class is default retry policy, which you need to create. You can see if you don't know, then you can simply uh, use control space. You will get everything. Now it needs three parameters. First parameter is for the time, whatever time we have defined, that we need to specify here. So let me write time, comma. Second is, you can say maximum number of tries and how many times you want to send a retrace, so that you can modify according to your use. You can give 1 2 3 4 5 0 whatever. And so as of now, looking at the scenario, I'm having good internet connectivity. Let me go with 0. Later on, you can go with 5 also. So 5 times it will try to send the request, and before 40 seconds it will send the request. After 40 seconds, this is not going to be executed. And the third parameter is, you can see back of multiplier. So where you need to use one of the static member of default retry policy. Let me show you. It is this one, default retry policy dot default back of mult. So multiple times it will send the request. That's the only reason why I am passing this one, default retry policy dot default back of multiplier. Yeah, that's it. And now using this object of retry policy, which is this one, retry policy dot, I need to call this set retry policy method if I'm not wrong. I think it is not there. Why? No, I think this method is not there in the retry policy. I think the method could be there inside this string request class, and this is the object. Let me see. String request dot, yeah, set retry policy is there. So now we need to call this method set retry policy. So we are going to send the request, and to send the request, this is the class which is string request. To access the method of this class, we need to use this object which is there. So string request object dot, I can use set retry policy, and there I can pass this object. This is what I was doing wrong, like this. And then you can append everything in a queue. So for queue also you have one class which is request queue. Request queue is there, yeah. And you can append the new queue in the new request. So let's access it. So you don't need to even understand this. You can use this. Why I'm not getting? Yeah, I just forgot equal to. Sorry, object of this request queue. Let's say request queue equal to volley dot. You can see new request, and you can pass the current reference. Let's say this, and you can add your response. So there is add method inside request queue, and you can access it using this object. Let me copy this request queue dot. You can see add method is there, where you can pass the request object. So what is the object of string request? It is the string request. So this is what I need to pass. That's it. I'm done. So only these things are new for you. Fine. Up to this, it was clear. In the add data method, we have created progress dialog. Then we have got the values. Then to send the request, we have created object of string request. While creating object, we are using post method. We will have to pass the URL of our Google script, and we are implementing two listeners. One is response and another one is error listener. Fine. So now what it will do, when you will get the value in first name and last name, we will have to give the values in the Google script. And so here using map, I'm using key value pair. So one action is needed. Using postman also, I will let you know why action was there. So name of the action is add value. So this kind of function we will implement in Google script later on. હમણાં આપણે ગૂગલ સ્ક્રિપ્ટ બનાવશું તો એમાં એડ વેલ્યુ નામનું એક ફંક્શન આપણે બનાવશું અને એનું નામ આપણે આપ્યું છે એક્શન. And then we will compare. If it is action, then it will call this function. એ ફંક્શનની અંદર આપણે from Google script we will add the values in Google script. Sorry, Google Sheet. Similarly, for first name and last name, I am adding it using this. And then if you have bad internet connectivity, you need to go for retry policy also. So this is optional one, but still many times you may lose your internet. In that case, it is always better that you go for this. And even though if you don't understand anything, you can simply copy this. You can just change the time and simply copy this entire thing. It is going to be remain same for each cases. Fine. So you don't need to go in depth. It's fine. Even nowadays, big developers are also not having any idea about this, but still the people are using. So in Android, whenever you go for bigger applications, never go for understanding in depth, because there are many things which you can even never understand. It is too vast. Fine. So if you get the code and if you know how to place it at which place you need to write your code, then also it is more than sufficient for you. So this is how you can go for a retry policy. So I am done with the coding part. Let me know if you have any difficulties so far in this. Anyone? Okay, great. And one more thing, in this application we are going to use internet. So don't forget to give internet permission in the manifest file. It is very much important. Google Sheet. Yeah. So let me go to the manifest file and let's give internet permission. Internet and close it. So I have given the permission also, so that my application can use internet. Is it fine? Should I go ahead? Then now let's move to the Google script part, and then we will create the link from that, and that link we will pass in the string request parameter here. That URL we will pass here. That's it. This is what remaining now. Sorry. Is it fine? Should I go ahead? Okay, great. So now let me go to the another part, which is Google script. So let me go to the drive, and let me create a new Google Sheet. It is too slow. New Google Sheet, and let's define the columns. Why it is too slow? And see, other than first name and last name, if you want few more columns, then also you can write code in Google script. Like if you want to capture a timestamp, if you want to capture serial number, then you can do it by writing one line of code. That also I will cover, so that whenever you refer Google script, you will come to know that what Google script can do for you. So let me just give any name. Let's say Google Sheet integration. And here let me give name of all the columns. So we want to store first name, last name, and let me go with even a timestamp also, or let's say date. And if you want to give serial number, then you can give ID also. And then first name, let me go with first name, last name, So if you can understand, from application we are going to give two values only for first name and last name. This value I want from Google script. So as and when the value is getting inserted in first name and last name, I want one number and I want current time. Whatever time is there in my system, I want that time to be displayed here. And if it is the first entry, I want one in ID. And this will be entered through application. Then as soon as I give a second entry, then I should get two here and the current timestamp. Are you getting me? This is what I want. Yes or no? Okay, great. Now let's go to the scripting part. If you don't know, then let me show you. From these tools, you can go to script editor, and you can go to script editor, or you can go to new, and you can go to more, and you can see here Google Apps script. So both the ways are there. Either you can create a new script. Inside this new script, you will have to give the path of your Google Sheet, and or else you can go to tools option from the Google Sheet only, and you can find a script editor. Is it fine? To open your script editor, you have two options. Either you can go in tools option and then you can click on script editor, or else you can go in your drive, you can click on new, go to more, and you will find Google script editor. This one, Google Apps script. Both the ways are valid. It's up to you, because in both the editor you will get the same editor, and you will have to give the URL of your Google Sheet. Is it fine? How to open the editor for Google scripting? See, I strongly recommend that when you get free time, surely go for it. It is very very interesting. There are many things which you can do using Google script. Mostly in my routine task, I am using Google script oftenly, and which gives me a very interesting result also. So in same time, or I can say in minimum time, I can do maximum task if you know how you can write the script. So now let me go to tools. You can go with script editor. So this is my Google script editor. By default my function is there, but I don't want this function, so let's just remove this. Now we are going to write our script. So while writing this script again, you can either use this same code, and meanwhile you can understand also. I will explain you how entire Google script works. But later on you can simply copy this code, and if you want multiple functionalities, then you can search in web also. You will find the ready-made code. You simply need to use your code in your script. That's the only thing you need to know, how you can place your code at correct places. So whenever you go for Google script, first you need to give the URL of this Google script, so that I can say that this script is for this Google sheet only. Whatever code I will write inside this, that belongs to this sheet. So that I need to specify here. So for that, you need to use few of the inbuilt classes of Google script editor, and you can store the values in one of the variables. To define the variables in Google script, you need to simply use where. This is the data type. Sorry, this is the terminology for variable. So I can write variable, then I can write any name. Let's say for sheet, let's say it is what I can say, or let's say open, variable open equal to, because I want to open this sheet by specifying the URL of Google sheet. So for that, what I can do, I can access one of the inbuilt class, which is a spreadsheet app. You can see spreadsheet app is the inbuilt class of Google script. Then I need to access one of the method which can open URL for me, and that method is the static method of this class, spreadsheet app. So if I click on dot, then I can see all the static methods. So for me the method is I want to open by URL. Yes, so this is the method, open by URL, and here I can pass my URL of my Google sheet. So let me go to Google script, Google sheet again. So this is my URL. Let me just copy it, and let's paste my URL here. So I have copied my URL and I open it. Is it fine? You need to stop me if you are not getting anything. Okay, great. Now inside this sheet, there could be more number of sheets also. As of now, sheet 1 is there. Yes, we will have to write the URL in Android code also, but not that URL. In that, we will write the URL of our script, not the URL of our Google Sheet. That I will come to know. Yeah. So now in my Google Sheet, I may have many subsets also, like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So based on that, you need to pass your sheet. You need to give the direction, like in my scripting, what kind of sheet I'm going to use. So let me just rename this so that you'll get the clear idea. So let's say this sheet is details or whatever. Let's say details. Fine. So as of now there is only one sheet, but still I need to specify that which sheet I'm working about. So let me go with one more variable regarding sheet. Let's say variable sheet equal to, now using this variable open, I can get the path open dot get sheet by name. You can see this is the method get sheet by name, and here I will have to write the name of the sheet. So it was details. You need to make sure that both the spellings are totally correct. It is case sensitive. So it is details, details, D is capital. So it is same. Fine. So this is how you can open the entire sheet. You can open the subset. Now you need to define one function, and you need to pass the actions also. So now let me define one function. To define the function in your web script editor, you can write function keyword, and you can give the name of the function. So let's say it is do post for me. I'm going to post the method. So let's say do post. It's user defined. You can give anything. So earlier, whenever I was using, I was giving the same name. So it's up to you. And here you need to pass the object. Fine. So I'll let you know what is this E. You will come to know about this also. So let's say this is my function. Now I need to define which action is there. So there could be many actions, like I can add the values from my application to Google Sheet. I can fetch the data, I can update the data, I can insert the data. So accordingly we need to define various functions. Fine. એટલે આપણે એવું કરશું કે add data માટે અહીંયા હજુ હું એક ફંક્શન બનાવીશ. લેટ્સ અ ફંક્શન add data, જ્યાં આપણે વેલ્યુમાં આપ્યું હતું something like this. Let me go to the Android part again. You can see, sorry, add value is there, not add data. Are you getting this? So I need to give the same name, add value. So here instead of add data, I need to write, let me just copy this, add value. Fine. તો હવે આપણે શું કરશું કે જ્યારે મારી સ્ક્રિપ્ટમાં મને રિક્વેસ્ટ મળશે તો એ રિક્વેસ્ટ અહીંયા ઈમાં સ્ટોર થશે. હવે હું ચેક કરીશ કે ઈમાં એની એક્શન શું છે. સો ફોર ધેટ વોટ આઈ કેન ડુ, e dot, એટલે અલ્ટિમેટલી કેવું થશે, ફ્રોમ યોર એન્ડ્રોઇડ એપ્લિકેશન we will give the URL here. Where is it? Yeah, here we will give the URL of our script. So in that web script, this string request class will send the request. અહીંયાથી એને રિક્વેસ્ટ સેન્ડ થશે એટલે અહીંયા આવશે વેબ સ્ક્રિપ્ટમાં. Where is it? Yes, here. And it will call the post function, and whatever request that class is sending, that object will pass here. So now I want to see which action is there. So in my application, if you can see, whenever I write the action key, then the function is add value. તો આવી રીતે હજુ બીજું પણ હોઈ શકે. action 1, let's say fetch value. action 2, let's say delete value. action 3, update value. So we may have many actions. So what I will do, I will first try to get the name of the action using e dot parameter. So for that you can use this e dot parameter dot action, and that you can store in one of the variable. Let's say variable action, something like this. E dot parameter dot action. Now I want to, after getting the action, I need to compare whether this action is this one, add value, or is it a remove value, or is it update value, or is it insert value, whatever. So that I can compare using conditions. So I can write if, let's say, action equal add value, then what to do? Then I need to call this function add value, and after calling this function, whatever value I will get, that I will have to return in the application again. So I can say return, and then just call this function add value by passing key. See, as of now you don't have much idea about a script, so it is new for you, so I know it is little bit complex. Fine, but still, whenever you will refer the scripting part, you will come to know how exactly it works. At that time you can discuss with me. Still I will try my best so that I can explain. So whenever it will call this function, we will first get the action, which action is there. If the action is add value, then it will call the this function. એટલે આવી રીતે તમારે હવે ધારો કે delete કરવું છે, તો you can write function, let's say delete value, એનું logic આપણે અહીંયા લખશું, and you can go for one more condition. If action equal, let's say delete value, then return delete value e. So in that case it will go in that function, it will execute the logic, and it will return the value. Here also we are going to return it, so this function will also return the final value, and it will be updated in this Google Sheet. So here entries will be there. So this is how exactly it works. Fine. So as of now you can see I have written the code for add value only. So let me just finish this do post function here. If condition is completed, now let me finish do post, and